So can you see my screen right now?
Yes, clear.
Okay, thank you. So hello, my name is Mustafa. I'm working as a cybersecurity specialist and penetration tester. In our today's session, we will talk about the new OSCP certification and the PWK course. The table of content of today, we will talk about the OSCP certificate and the PWK. And actually, the name of PWK or penetration testing with Kali is the course name. And we will talk a look at the old OSCP version and new OSCP version, and why choosing Infosec for TC to train you this course. And we will take a look at a brief demo from the course modules. In the beginning, the OSCP is a name of certificate which stands for Offensive Security Certified Professional. It's one of the most powerful offensive security certification. This certificate is actually based on practical examples in penetration testing field and cybersecurity, which makes it one of the best certificate of cybersecurity. We have relevant certificates such as CH, PTP. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear.
But the PWK is one of the most important courses and certificate around the cybersecurity or penetration testing field. So we will take a look at the PWK new version and see what they have added and what they have removed. So the old PWK have some modules for the beginners, such as getting comfortable with Kali Linux, which makes you start feeling comfortable with Kali. How to start a service and shut down a service, how to use Kali, how to install it. They will have the command line fun, which about using the Linux command line and the practical tools, which talk about using tools such as Netcat, SoCat, and many other tools. And we have the bash scripting, which you take what you study from the command line fun and make it like script. And then we have the buffer overflow. There is a module called Introduction to Buffer Overflow and Windows Buffer Overflow exactly, and Linux. File transfer, which learn you how to transfer files from machine to other in many certain ways. And they removed also the PowerShell Empire, which talk about one of the most powerful C2 frameworks called PowerShell Empire, but they updated this content to make it more accurate. So they removed the buffer overflow from the old, from the new version, because they want to make the new version of PWK is related to penetration testing duties only. So the buffer overflow is not from the penetration testing duties. They remove it and add it to one of their courses called OSED, and they remove the basics, the basics module, such as getting comfortable with Kali, command line fun, practical tools, and they added to the PEN 100 course called PEN 100. And actually, offensive security have naming for their courses called PEN 100, PEN 200, PEN 300, related to the level of the course. So they add the basics modules to the PEN 100 course, and they make the PEN 200, which stands for the OSCP, is more accurate to penetration testing duties. So they added a new modules. The first one is Introduction to Cybersecurity, which give you a theoretical and a practical examples of cybersecurity threats. and effective learning strategies, how to learn this course, how to use the labs, and then report writing for penetration testing, how to writing a report. And then started to add a new content to some modules, such as web application. They added a module called common web application attacks, which take it deep to SQL injection and file upload vulnerabilities, and then add Active Directory lateral movement techniques, which talk about Active Directory attacks in more advanced scenarios. They actually have you can say a more powerful version of OSCP. The new version is very powerful. So this is the main difference between the new PWK or the old PWK. So why to choose Infosec 40C to learn this course from? First of all, we have online classes. We have powerful support during the lab and materials and course instructions. We have a refund policy, and we have labs and materials for this course, which very, very identical to the one offensive security have. So in Infosec, we will learn some of old modules related to the OSCP or the PWK course, which makes you understand the basics of using Linux and command line and how to write Apache scripting. And then we will start to move on to the new version of the PWK, which will give us the updated content of the OSCP. So I don't want this session to be very hard for you. If you have any question, please let me know before we start the demo.
Can you please explain the refund policy, Mustafa?
Yes, allow me to take this point. For the OSCP, because it will include all the labs and all the curriculum, you have 14 days refund policy. So you can attend the training, the new training, which will include the introduction, because now, as Mustafa was explaining, it has been divided to 2 different programs. So we will include the introduction, so you don't have to take the basics training separately, and it will include the course, and you will have 14 days refund policy for this program.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, ETF.
You're welcome.
Mustafa, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So in our today's demo, we will talk about NTLM relay attack. So if there is anyone heard before about the NTLM authentication? Hello?
No, like, can go ahead.
Okay, in Windows machine networks, we have actually 2 types of authentication. We have something called Kerberos authentication and NTLM authentication. So in our demo, we will see how to abuse one of these authentication, which related to NTLM authentication. We'll see how when Windows machine try to access a network resource or network share, for example, our machine will take this as advantage to actually grab the Windows machine hashes, and maybe you can crack this. You can crack this password of this machine, or also you can relay this attack and take this authentication mechanism and relate to another machine, which may give you access or full control of the target machine. So we will see how to use NTLM relay attack using our Kali box right here. Just give me a moment, please. So we have here a Kali Linux with which a Debian Linux machine designed for penetration testers. that we will use during this course. But in this session, we will see how to use our Kali and some of tools that comes installed in the Kali to exploit or attack our Windows machine using NTLM relay attack. Okay, I'll start right now the Kali. So in our today's lab, we have here to also show you other machines. We also have a Windows Server 2016 and 2 Windows 10 machine that we will use in this attack. So actually, we have here a domain network that this Windows Server actually working as a domain controller that control this network. And we have 2 machines, one related with admin accounts, and another is a local client user. So we have here admin account on this machine that logged in this machine, and we have this machine which have user called John and this user called Robert, and Robert is admin user. And we have here the Active Directory machine which control our domain network. So in this example, we will see how to use NTLM authentication to actually or NTLM relay attack to actually grab the password of the users, or actually relate this attack to another machines to get access to. So I'm gonna use my Kali box right here. Okay. In the beginning, we'll run tool called responder. So what actually responder do is trying to poisoning a protocol called LLMNR, which stands for local link multicast name resolution. It happens when the machine Windows trying to access a network share or a network resources and trying to ask every machine in the network if they have this resource. Then our Kali pokes and responder say, yes, I have this share or have this resource. So please, can you authenticate into my machine? So actually, when Windows try to authenticate into our Kali pokes, the Kali will capture the password of the user, and you can crack it, and you can also relay by this account of this machine. If this machine have an admin account, you can relay with this account to gain access to another machine. So we will see how to use the responder to capture this authentication, actually, this type of authentication. So I will run a responder. After I will run responder, I will give it my network card. It's a ETH0. This is stand for interface. I will press enter. And now responder is running. So actually, responder also using to poison LLMNR or in NPTNS, Microsoft DNS or DNS. And we have here some of servers that actually responder use, such as SMP server, HTTP, and HTTPS. So when a user try, we can do it by ourselves, or we can actually force this machine or force any machine to do searching for resources. But we for this demo of this session, we will see how actually this can happen by mistake. Okay, so if our machine here with the user Robert try to access let's say resources called nothing, what will happen here, our Kali box will capture the Robert password, it's encrypted into NTLM version 2 authentication, and we have the hash of this user. So we can cancel this attack right now and go to the folder of the responder. And you can find here in logs, we have the SMP NTLM version 2. If we cat this file, we will see here the hash of the user. So actually we can use a tool like Hashcat to crack this password. So let's see how to use it. We can use dump hash. It's a tool come with a responder to dump you all the hashes. We'll give it sudo. So we have here, actually I captured the password of administrator account before. So we have here Robert password. I will copy it and return to my home folder. I'm gonna make a new file called hash.txt, and I'm gonna paste the hash of the user here. So after we have the hash of the user account, we can use Hashcat tool to crack this password. So let's assume we have a word list. Let's create a small word list which have some of random passwords. It actually can crack it so fast if you have a powerful GPU. This is my password right here, and we will see after a moment if we couldn't crack this password, what else we can do. Even we don't have to crack this password. So I can use Hashcat to crack this password. And we will search for the mod number of NTLM version 2 hashes. We have here the NTLM version 2. So I'm gonna make it mod 5600 and then the hash file and the password list. And now Hashcat will attempt to crack this password. If the password in our password list, it will be so easy to Hashcat. One point I want to focus on, this password is more easy than cracking something like a wireless connection. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Mustafa.
Okay. So if you can see here that I've cracked the password of the user Robert, here is the password. So we can actually trying to access this machine via RDP or using pass the hash, or trying to connect this machine by using pass the hash or PowerShell remoting. There is many ways to access this machine with username or password. But now we will see if we couldn't crack this password, what else we can do. So I'm gonna reconfigure my responder, and I will create a reverse shell. First, I will create a reverse shell right here using a tool called MSF Venom, which makes me creating a reverse shell, such as like something like backdoors actually. So we have here the Windows Meta Operator, reverse TCP -F for the format of the file will be exe file, executable file. And here we specify our listening back host. We give it our IP address, and then the L port, the port we be listening on will be 4444. And here we have will output our file into a file called reverseshell.exe. So after our file have been generated, let's see, we have the file here, and then let's reconfigure our responder. So let's vim user share, or actually we can use sudo, and we can use mousepad. We will reconfigure the responder configuration file to actually not using SMP server. We will make it off, and also HTTP. We will make this also off, and then we will fire responder again, just to make sure that I have edited this file. So it's actually off. So let's start responder one more time, and then I will start my Metasploit framework console. And now I will try to capture a connection if the target machine actually execute our backdoor. So we will use exploit multi-handler, and multi-handler is a listener for any shell we can use. So I will give it our type of shell as meterpreter reverse TCP, and then set payload, actually set payload, then set for our L host will be our IP address, and then set for L port will be 4444, and then set or we can exploit directly. So our multi-handler now is running and listening for any incoming connections. So let's try another tool called Packet NTLM Relay X. This tool is actually relaying the authentication of our admin machine and take the password and the user and the password, and try to authenticate to another machine with this account. At this admin account, we will actually have a permission to execute anything on the remote machine. So let's try to target a Windows 10 normal client machine with this admin account. Okay. So we have here our other machine. So we will access this machine remotely. We will just get the IP address of the machine. So I'm gonna run Packet NTLM Relay X with NTLM version 2 support. It will be SMP version 2 support, which supported in Windows 10, and I will type the IP address of our target machine, and then I will tell it to execute the reverse shell file that I have created. And then our Packet NTLM Relay X is running. Let's run, or we have run already the responder. So let's assume that our admin user try to access anything on the network. Sometimes it actually happens from itself of user browsing the internet and trying to access any unlocated file. Let's try to access a network share called nothing again. And you can see here from just trying to access a network share, responder will give NTLM Relay X the authentication, and NTLM Relay X will take this authentication and make the machine, the target machine for our client, just take the file and execute it. And you can see here that we have a meterpreter session on our target client machine. So is everything all right? Sometimes you need to just move yourself after the NTLM Relay X uploading the file. It's trying to remove the file and removing the service. So you can actually move yourself to another process. We can see it again. We can try to exploit one more time. And we can use this as a reverse shell. And after our admin trying to execute anything. After having this session, we said migrate -N to explorer.exe to actually move ourselves to another process. So you can actually move yourself to another process. So your process not gonna be killed. So this is all for this demo. If you have any question, please ask me.
Yeah, Mustafa, like you have done it in LHost, like LHost and LPort, where like it's between a LAN. So when you go for a WAN kind of attack, like what's the
This attack doesn't work on WAN. It's only
okay,
work on local network.
okay,
An enterprise network actually, because we have here multi-user authentication, so the user can authenticate into multiple machines, and we have domain network here, so our user can actually log into another machine. So this attack actually happens in enterprise network.
Okay.
Anyone have a question?
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much, team, for attending the session. Just to summarize what we spoke about, I'm sorry, I think there was a question. Grant, please go ahead. Grander, you can open your mic and ask if you have any question.
Okay, he asking about if is Metasploit framework console is allowed on OSCP exam. Actually, it's allowed. What is not allowed in the OSCP, actually, the attacks related to ARP poisoning and ARP spoofing. Can you hear me?
Yes. I think he got the question. Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Okay. So getting back to our main point of the webinar today, OSCP is considered one of the most sophisticated penetration testing certificate. And it's one of the few that you need to pass a very comprehensive practical exam to get the certification. Now, there is a new challenge that was raised recently, that they changed the curriculum. So now all the OSCP training available on Try Hack Me or on YouTube are following the previous approach, which is not applicable for the exam. Mr. Mustafa is a very sophisticated OSCP instructor who is building his own labs. So he was following up with the new curriculum of OSCP to be ready for the new exam as well. Now, what is the challenge of the new exam, besides not having the labs available anywhere right now, is also that they assuming that you already have the foundation or the basics knowledge of OSCP. So now, if you want to plan to take the OSCP directly, you have to go to the first foundation training and then take the OSCP. In Infosec, what we did, we took the foundation and tried to have few sessions at the beginning for people who don't have any experience with Linux, just to give them the foundations. Instead of taking the full training, they will take 2 or 3 sessions to build the foundation of Infosec, of Linux and Kali Linux, and then move to the topic of the new OSCP exam. So this is what we are trying to do right now. And as always, Infosec always you know, it's not a risky place to take training because you have a refund policy. So you can join if you feel this is suitable for you, or this is trainings that will add to your skills, or even building your skills as a pen tester. And if you don't feel that this is not suitable for you, you can always request a refund within 14 days, which means you can take 2 sessions, and then you can decide that this is not the suitable track for you. So this is what we provide. The training will start on 30 of July after 1 week, and it's going to be on Sunday, 1 p.m. EST time. All the session will be recorded. The instructor also will provide the full new lab for practicing. And right now, for a few days, we are providing a 50% discount on the training itself. So Valerie, are you available on the session?
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Aus.
Would you please share the discounted coupon on the chat?
Sure.
I also want to highlight that the training will not be only for the practical part. It will also cover the documentation part, the reporting part, which is very, very important, by the way, because you can know how to penetrate the system or how to follow approach, but unless you know how to write a professional report, is useless. And in the OSCP exam, you have to provide a report after taking or doing the exam. So Mr. Mustafa will also cover the reporting part. How do we provide or write a professional report? So this is briefly what is the new OSCP and what are the new topics that has been raised and what are the topics that has been removed. And feel free to raise any question you have technically or related to the program itself. Garhandar, I don't know if you still have a question because your hand is still up, or did we answer your question?
Mohammed Atif, I have one doubt. Like, shall I
Please.
ask you? Yeah,
Sure.
actually, like, I'm just a beginner, so into cybersecurity. So,
Yeah.
like you told, like before OSCP, like we do give some training for new joinees, like who are trying to do things in cybersecurity. So, like for foundation, like for a basic thing. So, what and all will you be covering? Can you please explain once again?
Yeah, sure. First,
Yeah.
let me elaborate on this point. This track is for people who want to work in the field of penetration testing. And it has a prerequisite. You need to have basics network information. I mean, the main topic about the OSCP, we will cover the Linux if you are new to the Linux, or if you are new to the penetration testing. We will cover that from scratch. But still, you need to have some basics network knowledge. What is an IP? What is a port? What is a private and public? And so on. So if you still don't have this kind of knowledge, I will suggest to take some training like Network Plus or even some network fundamentals. This will help you to start in this field. So I don't suggest to start with a training like that because you still can follow up, but you will have to do more effort to cover all the basics knowledge that is needed to become a pen tester. So if you are a beginner, just drop me an email. I will guide you what will be the proper path for you, depending on what track are you looking for. Because cybersecurity is a very wide field. You have to be very specific what you want to qualify yourself for.
Yeah, Mohammed Atif. Like right now, I'm into network security, like in next gen firewall. So like I'm planning to come into pen testing. So I have
Excellent.
basic
Yes.
knowledge. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So if you have the network basics, so that will work. But we don't
yeah.
need to have any Linux basic because this will be covered in the foundation training of
Okay.
this program. We will cover everything from for Linux and Kali from scratch.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Atif.
Most welcome. Hani, I'm sorry, Harry.
Uh, Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good day, or whatever it is over there. So, thanks for the training. I've attended your training in 2002, in a study workshop. Right. So I decided to attend this training. So I would actually love to attend this class because I'll be taking some courses on penetration testing. And this will also help me with what I want to do. So I want to find out how long is this training? It's going to start in a week time. How long is the duration of the training? And what is the cost for someone that has gold membership? Do I have any additional discounts or not?
Okay, let's talk about the timing first. I think Mr. Mustafa can help us on that. How many hours is the training? It's going to be only 1 day per week, which is Sunday, and it will be a live session, and we will record the session. And the reason we are doing live session is because, you know, people may have a question, they are stuck with something. Having a mentor or having an instructor guiding them would be much better than just watching videos. But regarding the number of hours, Mr. Mustafa, if you can help us, is it a 40-hour trainings or more or less?
More than 50 hours.
50 hours. Okay.
And
so it's 50 hours.
It takes 3 months, I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's going to be around 3 months.
It may take 3 months.
Yeah. We are only working on Sunday, which is going to be a weekend, 1 p.m. EST time, New York time.
Okay, so 1 p.m. EST time, and then it's going to be 50 hours in total. Did I get it correctly? Is it 50
Yes.
hours?
Yeah.
Okay,
50
like
hours.
the Sundays of the training, how long would that take on all the Sundays? How many hours?
The session will be around 3 hours.
3 hours,
And
okay.
we will provide you with the lab so you can practice on the OSCP lab.
Okay.
And we will have additional support channels. So beside the official training, which is going to be every Sunday, sometimes you may need the one-on-one session or you may need some support. We have a support team for that. So we will be following up with you during the week, but the official training will be every Sunday. The session will be 3 hours. So we are talking about around 3 months or I think 12 or 13 weeks.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you say Valerie will talk about the cost, right?
Yes, she already shared the discounted link on the chat. This is a 50% discount. It will be valid for 1 week. Once we start the program, we will not be able to take any new enrollment. So just to encourage people, and as I was saying, no risk is taking. If you are comfortable with the program, it's fine. If that's not what you are looking for, you can request a full refund. People who joined other program with us, they know about refund policy. So you don't have to worry about any risk taking for this training.
No. Yeah. Oh, I'm still looking out for it on the charts. I'll say.
Okay. So you have our email, right? The support email, or it's infosec4tc@infosec4tc.com. So anyone with a question, anyone who needs a discounted vouchers, just drop an email to infosec4tc@infosec4tc.com.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Most welcome. Okay. Any other question, gentlemen, ladies? Okay. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best. I think, honestly speaking, this is a good opportunity. OSCP, they start to make things quite harder. It wasn't like that before. And the course was very, it was tough, but doable. But now they start to divide it to 2 different trainings, so it become more commercial. You have to take the 2 training to get yourself ready. The lab is not available. It will be available after some while, to be honest, but still. So I think it's a good opportunity to get advantage of the training right now. But the most important point is that to consider to take the certificate. Because if you're just going to take the training without sitting for the exam, I don't think this will be very useful. But the main objective is to get the knowledge and also get the certification. So all the best. And if any question or anything is needed, just drop us an email at infosec4tc@infosec4tc.com. And we would be more than happy to answer back. And we will send the recording for all of you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.